Lisa, I'm so excited. Really, I kind of wrote a list on what we want our broadcast to be like. I want to help people, and I want us to help people to raise their success potential.
Right.
Raise the ceiling, blow the
Right.
ceiling away, right? Overcome the worry habits. I know that we can research this and do some great stuff concerning that. Improve our self-esteem, our self-awareness, really, stuff like that. Maybe like overcome the fear of risk or looking bad if we step out and make a mistake, things like that. And really help people think outside the box. I'm just concerned that so many people are living such a small life.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like people have settled a little. I think when you get into a certain age where you're maybe 30s, 40s could be, 50s and 60s, you hit this point where you say, okay, I've done it. This is it. This is how my life's going to be forever and ever. Yeah. And you settle in, right?
Deal with it, right?
Yeah, and what I love about God is that he is new every morning. His mercies are new every morning.
Right.
And then I'm, in my 40s, and I'm learning things today that I have never learned in all my years of being in church and in Bible college. So it's you can always start. Today is always a fresh day to start learning.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the Bible talks more about our thinking than any other subject. It doesn't just say in the verse, now I'm going to talk about thinking, but every time it talks about our attitude, our decisions, our choices, envy, fear, doubt, unbelief, hope, loving kindness, faith, charity, all those things have to do with the way we think.
Yeah, and Pastor Glenn, a lot of our shows or our messages we talk to each other about are like two types of thinking.
Right.
So we've got our conscious thinking, and I can point to my head because people are watching. But up here, what we think about that causes us to act and react and say things, it's our, and then our subconscious, which is down here, is a little bit more of in our gut. There's two types of thinking, and so we break that down when a lot of our discussions about the difference. When you talk about the heart, we're talking about our subconscious versus our, conscious mind.
I don't think we're taught very much in church and in school especially, or by our parents, the role that our thinking plays in receiving from God and receiving from life.
Right.
You can change what you have by changing what you think.
For sure.
But you can't change the fact that you're going to have what you think.
Right. And you're always going to be thinking. We talk about this a lot,
you're never not thinking.
And so you're either going to use your time and energy and thoughts to think good things that are going to get you in the direction you want to go in. Or we're going to let these thoughts come in by default or allow other people to put thoughts into our mind or, like I said, allow those in that are going to take us in the wrong direction.
And we like to say, get out of the drama, get out of the soap opera, right? And get out of the drag that you're in and think new, have new thoughts.
Well, what do you say all the time? If you keep getting what you've been getting and you're not happy with it, maybe something needs to change.
That's right. That's right. And so if you're getting plenty of what you don't want and very little of what you do want, you have to eventually say, maybe something's wrong.
Right.
And we've never thought that it was our thinking because thinking is just so automatic.
No, because we're used to things happening to us. We become this little bit of a victim mentality. Well, it's my boss. It's my partner. It's my kids. It's my job. All these, it's my illness, my family, all these things that happen to us. And so we say we're helpless. But the truth is we're in control of our thinking.
Right. People say, if my circumstances was different, I would be different. I would be better.
If I won the lottery, life would be different.
Right.
And they keep waiting and waiting.
Right. And so we're not really victims of our circumstances. If we could say it accurately, our circumstances are a victim of us.
That's true. We talked about that last week about how the things that we think actually draw circumstances to us, that this law of attraction.
We're like a living magnet, aren't we?
The more we think about things, the energy that we put out is what we get back. It's, like you said, a magnet.
So that can either work against you or it can really start enhancing and working for you.
Right. It's not all doom and gloom, right? It's not like, oh, no, now what? It's like, hey, you flip it over and actually use it for your benefit.
Right. And I think we only really talk about the negative just to help people locate themselves, like say, hey, wait a minute. That's how I roll.
Yes.
And we gotta flip the script for people.
Well, and unfortunately, once you figure out in one area of your life, oh, I've been thinking negatively, then God goes, okay, now how about in your health? Yeah. How about in your relationships?
Right.
He starts to slowly, it's a slow process, but thank goodness he never stops with us. We always need to be checking in on how we're thinking about different things.
Moses died. What a amazing leader he was. But now the mantle fell on Joshua. So the first thing that God told Joshua is meditate the word day and night. Make sure you fill your mind with the promises of God,
Right.
not the circumstances and the problems with the people and the enemies and all that stuff.
Right. I imagine Joshua would have thought, I've got 40 years ahead of me in the wilderness as well, right?
Right, sure.
To think of something so different to be able to go in and take the land, that would have had to have taken vision and imagination and the Holy Spirit actually giving him new ways of seeing things.
Absolutely. Saints, we love you. We're out of time for today, but be sure to catch us next time. God bless you.